Hello, welcome back to Extraordinary Connection. My name is Robert Blanchard, and I'm the pastor at Lansing First United Methodist Church. I'm glad to have you with us today here on Extraordinary Connection and to be with me as I share today's devotional with you. Since we were last together, I've been spending more time immersed in the life and work of Father Daniel Berrigan. On Sunday, May 9th, I had a chance to be a fly on the wall with about 150 other people for a virtual book launch event of Bill Wiley Kellerman's book, Celebrant's Flame. My copy just arrived yesterday, so I'm sure that by the time you are watching this devotional on Monday, I will be using my Sabbath day to read that book. This event was not just about Bill's book, though. It was also a celebration of Berrigan's 100th birthday. It was both humbling and inspiring to listen for a few hours as those who knew Berrigan when he was alive and who worked alongside him for peace and life shared stories about the actions of the past and made us aware of the ongoing activities for peace still happening today. I also managed, in the last 2 weeks, to track down a copy of Berrigan's first book of poetry, Time Without Number. There are a couple of poems in this book that I want to share with you today. First is a poem that I had come across before in a different selection of his poems. I wasn't aware that it was actually first published in this book, but it coincides nicely with a comment that was made during the celebration of Berrigan's birth. I don't remember exactly who it was who said this about him, but they said that he was never a great organizer or recruiter, that wasn't what he was interested in. He was just himself. And by the strength of his own convictions and the example of his own witness, he ended up inspiring others to join the cause for peace. This first poem that I want to share with you is titled Credentials and speaks about how our very being is what validates our presence and activity in the world. He writes, I would it were possible to state in so few words my errand in the world. Quite simply forestalling all inquiry, the oak offers his leaves large-handedly. And in winter his integral, magnificent order decrees, says solemnly who he is in the great thrusting limbs that are all finally one, a return and permanent river sea. So the rose is its own credential, a certain unattainable, effortless form. Wearing its heart visibly, it gives us heart too. Bud, fullness, and fall. As I think about how Berrigan's inner strength was enough to attract others to the work of peace and life, I'm also struck by another poem from this book that he wrote about the unexpected ways that life can emerge in the world around us. So I want to leave you the words of one more poem. And as I think about this poem, I can see the church in these words. Where many may look at the church from the outside and see an institution in decline or perhaps already dead, many of us within the church know that we are not dying, but resurrecting. The noise of new life within the church heralds that a new spring is coming, and we sit on a living tree that is merely in midwinter. But that's enough of my rambling. Here now is the poem. Midwinter, and a patchwork snow under inert trees. Yet to their boughs the snowbirds came in a cloud. It was one to them whether the landscape flowered or withered. They even preferred this, sending their sweet clamor into air they brought to a single tree. More joyous and numerous than leaves, an entire summer. Suddenly, the tree was alive in the dead of morning. Yet what are these, I thought, to stand against the inhuman strike and lash of the season? He is the clever fowler, can stalk them from the rushes, shake them down, a chaff under his club. What time he would move on them. But no thought of this. From the living tree they sang and sang. It was that spurt of courage, sends the heart leaping even in midwinter into the spring it longs for. Friends, may we always see the poetry that is in the life and the world around us, and may we see the ways in which God's love is moving in new and unexpected places. Amen.